The Vampire Servant. Written by Rory Macaulay Heyman. Narrated by Lyle Letterman and Elizabeth Howell. I slammed Springer's head against the brick of the alleyway. If he breathed, he'd be purple by now. He was 5'9" with nearly white blonde hair and violet eyes. It was the bloodline of my sire that gave him those eyes, and I was about to take them back if he didn't have the money he stole from me and a damned good excuse for his flippant message. Springer gurgled. My lip curled into a snarl. I wanted to properly crush his throat after everything I had done for him. For nearly 8 years, the little bastard stole from me. I'd spent 15 years tracking him down, all the way to America. I had to live out of a suitcase while trying to figure out where he'd gone. No servant to take care of my needs. Nothing. It wasn't until a donor told me about a spell which hid you from others' sight that I figured it out. My work was put on hiatus while I tracked my wayward child. 15 damned years. Going dormant for that long, leaving my territory for that long. I was homeless and reputationalist now. Only a rumor, a ghost in the world of the undead. His little game had cost me everything I'd worked for. I tightened my grip around his neck. Taking off his head would make me happier than any damage I could do now. But I wanted more than a pound of flesh. Of course he wouldn't be able to tell me anything if I crushed his throat. At least, not until he healed, and I didn't want to wait that long. I sighed, let him down, and stepped back. Springer dropped to his knees, gripping his throat. I glared at him with disdain. Well, where is it? I growled.
I spent it all. I'm sorry, Master. Please don't kill me.
He begged. He was only 100 years old, but he'd been trouble since before I brought him over. He wasn't my first choice for a child of mine. If not for the fact that his father had been a dear friend of mine, I wouldn't have. Jacob always regretted having me turn his son. So I did. He'd wanted his son to live, but life as a vampire wasn't the same as life as a human. It had taken decades for the boy's memory to come back. Just in time for him to sit by his father's deathbed. What did you spend my money on, Springer? I hissed, stepping closer again.
A house, cars, blood, clothes, they're all yours. Well, except the blood. I don't think her parents will sell her, but I can tell you who to contact to feed on her.
He offered eagerly. Parents? You fed from a child? I saw red. The words of the witch who had told me about the concealing spell rang in my head. He was hurting someone. He was hurting a child. That was my one rule when it came to feeding. Never feed from someone who isn't able to understand what they're offering. Not the mentally disabled, not children, not intoxicated people, not the elderly. The punishment was death.